So now we can say you're a bitch.
Circle has gone to square. We are live.
Go, go, go!
3,
Go
2,
team,
It's
go!
Morphin time. Oh, is it not Power Rangers?
It's not Power Rangers. I'm quite excited about this week.
Why?
Because this feels like a you cinema week. I feel that this week is going to be all about you.
This week reinstated my joy for the silver screen.
It's been a bit of a desert.
Yeah, it has been. I think we were seduced by like the Wolverine and the Deadpools and stuff like that. But
There have been little tiny oases, oasi. What's the plural of, or what's the collective noun for an oasis?
A Gallagher.
Lawrence?
Gallagher.
What's the-
It's a Gallagher.
A Gallagher
Is
of
it?
oases. Yeah,
Of
it's
course
brilliant.
it's not.
could be, couldn't it?
No, it couldn't.
Should we pop ours in?
Pa 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 pa. Awesome.
Popcorn Pundits.
Podcast.
Yes, indeedy.
Week what?
45.
No.
Fuck it and fucked it again. Should we start again? Or
No,
should we
46.
should we just presume
Yes,
you're...
46.
Week 46. Week 46. And away we go.
I feel like this is going to be a really long one this
This
week.
So I'm
you-
just going to cut in and say, what we do is we go to cinema and then we come here on a Thursday and tell you what we thought about the films that we saw. It's just subjective. We're not right or we're not wrong. But we do put a score on it.
We do. Put a score on it.
Yeah. And
If you like it, put a score on it.
You
I like it when I put a score on it.
Is it a 10 out of 10 or a lower one?
I'll give it a
We
one.
saw some filmage today.
We
this week.
did.
Not today.
We did
We
at
saw it.
home and at the silver screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're encouraging people to go to the cinema, aren't we? Support their local cinemas.
100%. So normally on the Popcorn Pundits we usually do a top 10. We do a review of what we've been seeing at the cinema, and we also do Peter's homework.
You just called me Pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Chicken and a pizza.
I'd deep fry you.
Yeah, you sent me homework, and then I tell you what I thought about my homework. We discuss it for a bit, and then you set me new homework.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, indeedy.
So I start with the top 10.
This is going to be a big one, so let's crack on with the top 10, please.
Okay, so I don't know the 10. It's a film called Firebrand.
Okay, so in Tudor England, Catherine Parr reluctantly agrees to become the sixth wife of King Henry VIII. Her consent to marry him carries great personal risk, given her predecessors were either vanquished, beheaded, or died. Perceived as a
They're
threat.
divorced tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perceived as a threat by Henry's courtiers, they start to cast doubts about their fidelity and turn increasingly paranoid king against her.
So it's an urban film.
Yeah.
It's got Jude Law in it.
Has it?
Yes. He plays Henry VIII.
Moving
Does he?
swiftly on. What do you think about Jude Law?
I quite like Jude Law.
I knew you would.
I do like him. I mean, ever since he was in Naked Lunch.
Yeah. I don't like him.
You
Number
like him?
9.
You like the cut of his jib. Fantastic film, Talent Miss Ripley.
You meant The Holiday.
Number 9.
Never seen it.
Shut up.
Never seen Holiday.
Homework. Can you make a note? Homework at the end
Christmas
of this
homework,
thing.
isn't it?
It's just worth it for Cameron Diaz in Kashmir. You'd love it. It's got knitwear in it.
So no, you're not selling it to me. Number 9.
Star Wars Episode 3. I've never heard of it.
New. Revenge of the... Yes.
Revenge of the Civ.
Yes. Number 8.
Inside Out 2.
Cried, laughed, and everything between.
Yeah, you're making it out to be better than it was.
Yeah, I liked it.
You're only saying that because it's the highest grossing animation of all. Did you know it's the highest grossing animation? No.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Number 7. Blink Twice. That was 6 times.
It was.
Number 6.
I'm
Despicable
still.
Me
Do you know what? I'm
4.
still digesting that movie.
Blink Twice.
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
It wasn't as good as Saltburn. I mean, that's what you need to know.
No, they're comparable, but they're not in the same camp.
Well, you're doing 2 open hands and
Yes,
juggling
exactly.
them, which means they are comparable with you.
Not
because
necessarily.
You can't do something
I
with
might
your
have
hands and say
massive-
something different.
I might do better.
Well, we were
too.
talking to Kai about that earlier on, weren't we?
Number 5.
Alien Romulus.
What are you doing?
We'll carry on with the top 10, otherwise we're going to be here till 10 o'clock.
Okay, well, I could have said Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
Want to say number 4 then?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
that's right.
Number 3, James is going to see this week. It ends with us.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. And I don't know what number 2 is. The number 2 is the greatest of all time.
It is the greatest of all time.
It's number 2.
It's an Indian Tamil language science fiction action film. And after years of successful operations, an elite agent suddenly retires, choosing a quiet, ordinary life. However, when a past mission comes back to haunt him, he reunites with his team to prevent a catastrophic disaster.
Your knowledge of foreign language film is unbelievable.
You're like an oracle.
It's not my first radio.
Number one.
Was the film one of the films that we went to see this week, which is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice?
That's correct.
Or Beetlejuice.
That's correct.
Heist,
I learned.
isn't it heist?
I don't know. You two are the aficionados of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Did you go
Beetlejuice.
dressed as Beetlejuice though?
Why would I do that?
Nicky
Because
did.
you're meant to. I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
She turned up with
fucking kidding me?
stripy tights and a skeleton top shirt.
I had a great start to the film. So the film was about to start.
Yes.
And
He
I
tells
was
me
just
off for interrupting.
and I was trying to work out if I was going to be able to pick up my Japanese takeaway in time.
Yes.
So I switched my phone on to see the running time of the film because you know it's on the wallet pass.
That's correct, yes.
And I got a, can you turn your phone off, please? And I was
Was
just
it me?
It wasn't. It was a lady in her late 70s. I'm going to be polite and say that, and she was totally justified and right.
100%.
And I thought I could just say shh or something, and I just went, "I'm just checking the running time, dear."
Did you do it really loudly?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I did it slowly like that, and she went, "Okay," because obviously she thought I needed special attention as well. So anyway, there we go.
So I'm glad that somebody told you off for
Totally
illuminating the
right.
cinema.
Yeah.
Which really annoys me. Nicky.
Yes, so I went in black and white leggings and I had a skeleton t-shirt and the skeleton was made from spiders that glowed in the dark. So I went Beetlejuice style.
Where do you buy a T-shirt that's made by glow-in-the-dark spiders?
Glow in the Dark Spider Factory.
Yeah. You do.
I'm just going to
At the
stop talking
Spider
now.
Museum.
Yeah.
I did tell you that I had a power nap earlier, didn't I?
did.
Yeah, I don't
At
think
the
I've quite
Spider
woken
Museum.
up yet. Okay, cool.
So
Sorry, no, I haven't quite finished with this T-shirt yet.
God.
Sorry. What? How?
So it was a pattern of a skeleton.
Yeah, made up of individual spiders joined together in the shape of a skeleton.
Yeah, and they glowed in the dark.
Okay, I'm happy now.
Okay.
So when it glowed in the dark, did it look like a skeleton or some random spiders?
It looks like a skeleton.
Okay, cool.
I'll
We'll
show you
post
the
it
photo
on the
later.
Instagram.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to post that later.
Yes, indeed. That's your top 10 at the UK charts at the moment. The films that we'd recommend you go to see at the cinema are obviously Beetlejuice,
Well, maybe not.
or maybe not. It ends with us, Deadpool and Wolverine, Alien Romulus.
And Nicky would recommend that you go to see the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Despicable Me
Yeah,
4,
sounds amazing.
Blink Twice, Inside Out 2, Star Wars. That's it. So pretty much a lot of the movies at the cinema are good.
And we've pretty much seen 8 out of
7.
10.
That's correct.
7 out of 10.
I've seen Star Wars.
That's correct.
It's 8.
So, what order, Nicky, producer of the show,
Yes.
what order? You've got Inner Violent Nature, you've got Beetlejuice, and you've got The Substance. What order would you like to do the reviews in, please?
Well, one thing we didn't mention earlier on, just quickly, I'm sorry, I've interrupted you. I am.
Wesley, he's worse than
I'm-
you sometimes.
I am the worst.
You're never having a nap again.
No, when I'm bad, I am worse than you two put together. We saw another film this week, was all I was going to say, because there was a Scream Unseen at our local cinema.
That's right.
And we both randomly, independently went to see it
That's
at
right.
the same time.
So,
right.
Violent Nature, was that done at home?
That's right.
So we'll do that
And the
after.
film as well. Hey!
We'll do that after the Beetlejuice and Scream Unseen.
Okay.
So we'll start with Beetlejuice.
Let's start with Beetlejuice. And Nicky went to the cinema to go and watch Beetlejuice. So, would you like to do a quick thing about what your score first, or would you like us to talk about it first?
I think you two should talk about it first.
Right then. Okay, wide awake boy.
Okay, so I just have to say that
Yes.
we've been doing this podcast now for 46 weeks.
That's right.
And I reckon you've been talking about this film coming out for 46 weeks.
That's right.
You two have been super giddy.
That's right.
Super giddy about this film coming out for
You went to
such
see it
a
last
long
night.
time. You gave Nicky a present last week.
I did.
Which was based on one of the props from this film.
Exactly.
It's so super cute.
I'd be very, very interested to see what you think of it first, though, Peter.
Me? All right, okay. So, we are introduced to Winona characters, Winona Ryder's character, Lydia, again, right from the offset.
Absolutely.
And she's not 16 years old anymore.
No, she's not, but she looks good, though.
Okay. She's not an object, James.
You don't have to be an object to look good.
Anyway,
You
so
look
she is now doing a TV show based on haunted houses.
That's right.
And
she's embraced her paranormal activity.
Absolutely right. And then, and so the characters we still have in this film are the mother-in-law.
That's right.
Who is? I always forget that she's the Home Alone mum.
She's better than that. Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, she is absolutely. But yeah, I don't think Schitt's Creek's better than Home Alone. Debate for later in the podcast. So we have Michael Keaton in this again. So Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice.
The Return of the King.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, Winona, what's her name? Lydia. Sorry, I'm not as good. I'm not good with these because I haven't seen it 75,000 times like you have. Lydia now has a daughter who's played by Jenny Ortega, who is at a boarding school which is funded by the stepmother's art. The stepmother she has set up an
contemporary artist, isn't she?
Contemporary art installation, and very sadly we find out that Lydia's father has passed away in a tragic animated death.
That's correct, on a plane which was beautifully shot.
How cool, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was.
Really,
it
really
came
good.
out of nowhere, and I was very, very pleased it was there.
So great things that I love about this film to start with is the nod to tradition in the style of animation and the kind of the tricks and the props and everything that happens. It's very, very much in the theme of that.
Yep.
So the story of this. Well, you take over the story. What happens in this? What can we say about this?
Well, for me, it's a truly natural progression from the first one. So obviously, you've got the continuous story of Winona Ryder's character, who's embracing her connection with the afterlife, but she's now in a relationship with a producer of this program that is all to do with the paranormal. Now, obviously, he's a very controlling character, and he's trying to dumb down her activity with the paranormal with using drugs and so on and so forth.
He's flaky, isn't he?
He is so
and
flaky.
He's clearly a user.
Obviously, nobody likes him. So, but yeah,
he's the pantomime villain.
100%, exactly. It's exactly what he is.
The child catcher.
That's right, but I wouldn't go that far.
Well, no, he's not.
From Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I don't know.
I don't think he's touching the children in the movie.
They definitely removed the children touching from number 1 to Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
It's weird that, yeah.
It did, yeah.
So, and for several reasons, they had to go back to the original house.
So we've already said that the dad's dead.
Yes, I know.
So they go back for a funeral.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it all sets up beautifully, with the house is beautifully decorated in a funeral-esque sort of way, in a very Beetlejuice sort of way, which works beautifully in the drapage and so on and so forth, works really, really well. The music score is absolutely fantastic. The use of the original model from the first film is a fantastic nod all the way through the film. You will not be disappointed if you've seen the first one. It's a natural progression to the second one. The use of costumes is absolutely superb. Winona Ryder wears at least 2 to 3 costumes, which are direct reference to the costumes that she wore in the first one. There's a beautiful tartan dress that she wears, a green and blue tartan dress with a white little collar on it. That's absolutely fantastic. The daughter of her plays a fantastic smaller version of Winona Ryder. It's as simple as that, really. But with nods to the first film, lots of nods to the first film. But there's a cynicism coming from her, very in a way that she doesn't believe in ghosts, and it takes an entire movie for her to believe in ghosts.
There's a really lovely thing in it that Winona Ryder has blossomed into a grown-up human being.
That's right.
And being the parents of teenagers, we understand the power of a grunt and a groan from a teenage child, or teenage person. Jenny Ortega, she takes the mantle of Lydia's kind of grumpiness, but she's not the. I don't think she was the same character. I see her as a very, very different character, just with those kind of. She's the angsty teenager, isn't she?
Well, she's a modern version of that. You know, she may be a daughter, but she's like the modern version of Winona Ryder's character.
Anyway, so at the funeral, we are introduced to new characters, aren't we? And a new
one or two.
Line. We're not going there.
No, I don't want to go too deep into the characters.
Okay,
what I want to highlight 1 or 2 things that people need to look forward to in this film.
Okay.
Particularly William Dafoe.
Oh, okay.
William Dafoe. He plays possibly the most. You can see the joy on this actor's face all the way through this film, that he is embracing this brand new character, which is obviously an undead character. That has connections with the.
He's not undead.
But he is. He's he's dead and...
Dead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's dead, but he's undead. He's moving around in a Beetlejuice style.
Oh yes. But
Yeah, exactly. He's not dead and he's not buried.
No, but he's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Oh, you mean as in like the great undead dead?
Yeah.
I get what you mean now.
2 hours later.
But he's dead.
Yeah, but
he's got half his brain
they're all
hanging out.
referred to as the undead.
You see, but you guys know this shit. I don't.
Yeah. So, I think as I said, I wrote down here. I love the animation. What I really looked forward to, and what I was a little bit concerned about, was in the first film there were 2 particular scenes where they used music.
Yes.
And it transforms the set, it transforms the storyline, and it continues with the storyline. Then I think it's a very, very important part of the film. And I was really concerned when this music scene started in this movie, because you knew there was going to be a music scene in it.
Yes.
And it started off, and I thought, I'm not too sure about this.
I know, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
And then it got better and better and better and better, and all of a sudden it turned into this glorious.
It's probably the best scene in the film.
I would say so.
But it takes a little bit of time to get there.
It does.
And when you start watching it, you're thinking, oh no, this is a bum score on this one.
And then...
It's actually not.
And it just clicks away and it chips away at it, and all of a sudden you're just dancing in the aisles.
Okay, but you're talking about this with glee and the beautiful toothy smile on your face. Can we talk about the Swiss cheesiness just a little bit?
Oh, go on. I'm interested to see what holes you found.
Please feel free to bat them back at me
if
I'm wrong.
Yes.
We're ready.
What a waste of Danny DeVito.
No.
I disagree.
No. Danny DeVito.
Okay, just to be clear, if you're going to bat back,
Yeah.
there has to be some substance to it, not just shouting back, no, you're wrong, because
Right.
this
I
isn't
didn't
a
say
pantomime.
you're wrong, I said I disagree.
Danny DeVito's character was slipped in purely as a homage to Batman 2. Okay, you've got a fantastic reference when the gruel is rolling down on the ship. That's a reference to Penguin.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that. And even the music they used was Penguin music.
Penguin-esque. Yeah, no,
So
I understand
for me
that.
personally, they didn't over-egg the pudding with that. Me personally, if they had more of Danny DeVito, it would have been a Danny DeVito show. He's such a strong character. You can have too much of that.
Okay, do you not think we needed a bit more Monica Bellucci?
No.
Why not?
No, because she was that sultry. She was a perfect Morticia Addams character within this film, in this movie, and I felt that it didn't. I felt if I had too much of her in, it would have turned into more of a. It wouldn't have had that light-footed, childless element all the way through the movie. I think she had a little bit of sexiness to it. She was a little bit dark, and she had that right sort of tempo that she added those elements to the movie.
She was a waste.
Do you think
it was
so?
a wasted storyline because they didn't. I don't agree. Go on, tell me.
No, I was going to say I think it was she was in it enough because we needed to find out obviously the history behind her character in Beetlejuice, and obviously.
Yes.
So I think actually, if she'd have been in it anymore, it would have ruined it.
Okay, so here's my
Go
theory.
for it. Yes.
This was meant to be a TV series. And they've put it all together as a movie, and there's too many characters, and we don't go far enough into any of the characters' storylines. Monica Bellucci would have been a wonderful character for a half-hour TV show of Beetlejuice. Danny DeVito's character would have been another great character in Beetlejuice. The actual main story going through this, if I'm totally honest with you, this film is 1 hour 45 minutes long.
Right.
That's half an hour too long for this film.
Interesting.
So I think this film to me felt like a montage of different storylines put together, and for me it didn't work.
Well,
I loved all of the references from the previous film. However, if you loved the previous film that much, you should watch the original film, because this was lost on me.
I think you're looking at it and you are wanting to have a lot more. I think you're yearning for more meat on the bone. I think you're yearning for more substance, and I think you're yearning for more depth within the character development. And I don't think you even get that in the first film. I think it is a joy to watch from an artistic point of view. It is a joy to watch from a fun, just throwing it against the wall and just having fun with it. So
I watched the original the day before. I watched the second one, and it's absolutely not that, because the original has a wonderful story from first scene to closing scene.
It's a neater storyline. I agree.
Everything makes sense. I'm a strong believer of just because you can make something,
Yeah.
you shouldn't necessarily make it. And to me, I don't think this should have been made.
Okay, well, I disagree with you
I'm sure
very
you do.
deeply.
I'm sure you do, but I just think the original.
Yeah.
I just think this sequel lacks so much compared to the original, and they're even. So we had a discussion about it. I watched it with my wife and the kids, and on the way home, Pauline, my wife, turned around and she said, "Oh, I really like the queue of people waiting to pick their tickets up from the counter." And I went, "Did you really like it this time? What characters were in that queue?" And she went, "Oh, there's a bloke with a tennis racket, and there's like some waitress." And I was just like, "But there was no reference to how they died. There's just like people holding stuff."
But you can tell.
How did the tennis player die?
I didn't see him in the queue. There was the girl with the snakes on her hanging off her neck.
Oh yeah, no, there were some obvious ones,
Yeah.
but there was a queue, and I looked at the queue and I went, "I've got no clue how any of those people died." And there always was, like the nod to how the father dies in this, brilliant, because he sits on the sofa next to someone else, and he gets a and I thought, brilliant, that's what we want. I just thought that this. I love Tim Burton.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the book generally can do no wrong. I just thought this lacked story. I just thought it was. I just didn't think it was good enough.
Okay, well, you're entitled to your opinion. What score are you going to give it?
I'll give it 6.8. And I struggled to get that high. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, Nicky. Well, I know we're only rushing because we've got so much to get through. Nicky, what was your score?
Mine was 8.5.
Minus 8.5.
Mine
I agree
was
with you.
8.5.
And mine was 7.9.
Oh,
Okay, so we're going to be averaging about 7.7.
Not necessarily because we've got another review to come in.
We do
Oh,
have
okay,
another
cool.
review.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
Hang on, let me do my maths.
we've got to do. You've got
I've
to do
already
the
got
point.
that score, so
Oh,
I'm
I
going to
see.
do that and then not tell you.
Right. Here we go. We're waiting for it. We're waiting for the
This is good for the listeners, isn't it?
isn't it?
Okay, so Sophie Mulcrone
Yes, here we go.
has sent her review in.
Right, what did she say?
She said Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Peter is
Beetlejuice.
wrong. No, she said Beetlejuice. I simply loved it. I liked the story and the members of the original cast were brilliant. Special mention to Michael Keaton, who's an absolute legend. You would never have guessed that he is 73 years old.
You never would. I have to say, he
I mean,
looks,
even though he looked dead,
yeah, but he looks exactly the same as
He
he did in
did.
the first
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
I mean, it's
He hasn't
amazing.
aged,
and his
has
acting
he?
was.
Oh, it's super good.
Yeah.
And then she said, I liked the little twist in the story and didn't see it coming. It felt very nostalgic and fun. 8 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank
Go on,
you.
what are you going to
So
say?
if I do this, James,
Yes.
this is a mental reminder.
I know
What
it
I
is.
do is I
I know
put
what
my
you do.
finger against my palm.
I know exactly what you're doing with
The
your finger.
reaction to that
I can feel it.
It's not meant to be an eye roll. You just eye roll. Right? We always say, right, in our meetings, that subjectivity cannot be wrong. Okay, and I'm feeling like you're ganging up on me
I
because
didn't
my
eye roll because I was reading.
you said I was wrong.
I was joking.
Just because we don't agree with you, we're not meant to be picking on
the
you.
point I wanted to make
Go
was
on.
I did a mini review on Despicable Me 4 the other day, and I said it wasn't miniony enough.
Yeah.
This wasn't Michael Keaton-y enough.
Well, I disagree.
Because the funniest scene in it was when we were introduced to Beetlejuice again, and literally the whole cinema was belly laughing because it's so funny. Give us more of that.
Yeah, go
I
on.
think Bob was the best.
Oh, Bob was brilliant.
Bob was great.
I think Bob
we
was
love
the
Bob.
best. So that makes it 7.8 in total with those 4 scores.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Would you like some facts?
Yes, please.
Actually, before I give you the facts,
Yes.
I'm going to ask if there was anything you boys recognised in the film
Oh.
when it came to scenery,
As in, like, compared to the original film, or just generally in life?
just in general,
Was it filmed in Berkshire?
possibly.
Shut up.
It was filmed in Bray.
So, the production was shot at a number of locations across England and the US. This is from Bucks Free Press, including West Wickham Park near High Wycombe.
Never been there.
Not I.
You haven't?
No.
No, not I.
It's a dogging place, isn't it? Have you been there?
No.
Oh, is that where I keep going? I keep forgetting. But mind you, it's usually dark. Well, flashing me lights
why
are
would
up.
you go
Wake up,
jogging
you
in
smell
the
of a
dark?
hypno.
Including West Wickham Park near High Wycombe, which, alongside an abandoned boarding school in Hitchin, Hertfordshire, made up its on-location trips whilst they were filming last year.
Uh-huh.
And then the funeral scene in particular, we saw it make full use of the moody ambience of the National Trust-owned estate, an atmosphere of no doubt bolstered by its proximity to the Hellfire Caves.
Oh, so that's the Lucinda Dashwood's place. I do know it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So West Wickham Park has obviously also appeared in a number of other films and TV productions across the years, including Bridget Jones's Diary, Cranford, Sense and Sensibility, X-Men, Howard's End, Downton Abbey and Midsummer Murders.
Nice.
Oh, they're delightful family as well. Really nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was all over.
Yeah, very good.
So that's Beetlejuice.
That is
That was Beetlejuice.
Are you not wanting facts?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm just very aware that we've got a lot to get through.
Okay. So Tim Burton was said that he would only make the film if Michael Keaton would return to reprise his role, and he said that Keaton said in March of 2014 that this is the only sequel he's interested in doing. And similar with Winona Ryder, she had one condition when she first met Stranger Things creators Matt and Ross. For the role, they wanted her to play Netflix. She said if Beetlejuice 2 ever got off the ground, they'd have to let her take a break from filming the series to film it.
Of course.
And they agreed.
So that was on her rider.
Pretty much.
Oh,
She
very
shoplifted
good.
it. And it's already had one win and two nominations in the awards season.
Not Chainsaw
Not
though.
yet.
Is
no.
there an IMDb score?
There is
What is it?
7.1.
Still a good score though. Right then. So that is Beetlejuice.
You're right.
All right, Bob.
You would if you could, wouldn't you?
Yeah. What, Bob?
No, stitch my mouth up.
Yeah, I think no.
Oh yeah, that's not what I thought, but yes.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay. So
Okay, so what else happened this week, James?
are we doing the screen and scene?
Clues ready.
Got a screen and scene. We would how often does a screen and scene happen? About
Once every 3 months.
once every 3 months, our local cinema screens a film that we have not seen before because it has been unscreened. Hence, screen and scene.
Wow.
They usually tantalise the viewers with a few clues. Would you like to give us the clues without giving away
Yes.
the name of the film, Nicky McMickey?
So this one is Scream Unseen, isn't
Yes,
it?
so it's
Which
gonna be
means it's a horror.
Horror.
So the clue number 1 was Witchfire.
Right.
Clue number 2, I just have to find, was Keep Your Balance.
Right.
And clue number 3
Uh-huh.
is Activate, Stabilize, Switch, Repeat.
Yes. Well, we know that is. That's
Yes.
your.
Oh, that's a film reference.
That's a massive film little reference.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Okay.
So the film that we went to see was a film called The Substance.
So, do I talk about what I was going to do if it wasn't this?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you do.
So, you sent me a homework
I did.
a good few weeks ago. I
did.
reckon it's probably 15 weeks ago.
Probably
which
was.
was a half Danish, half Dutch production of a film
Yes.
called Spilt No Evil, which was a suspense-filled horror film, which was absolutely epically brilliant. And they
It was
remade it.
psychologically torturing.
It was torturous, and they've remade it with James McAvoy. And
Within a year,
yeah, it's the weirdest remake of a film ever,
isn't it? And they're
It's
really
been-
pushing it
it's been
on social
trailed-
media.
on
Yeah, they're trailing the living
everything. It's been
daylights
trailed
out.
to everything, and I will see it, but I just kind of sat there and I thought, do you know what? If this Scream Unseen is that,
Yes.
I'm going to leave.
Yeah, I was actually prepared to do that as well because
Yeah.
that has affected me weirdly.
It's a really weird advertising of a film that's made me want to see. It's never made me want to see a film less.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you
But
completely.
anyway, that happened. But
Unfortunately.
anyway, so then I was literally about to pick up my coat and head off, and then the thing came up.
The Substance came on. The
Substance came up, and I was just
Yes.
like, "Oh, what's the Substance?" I kind of remember this, and I went, "Oh, this is a Demi Moore film."
It is a Demi Moore film.
And they don't really portray it as a horror in the trailer, do they?
I don't know. When I saw the trailer, I instantly thought European art horror movie, and I thought this is going to be
really
epic.
Interested because what's the Bunny Boiler film from the 1980s?
Fatal Attraction.
That's what I kind of got.
No, I didn't get that
That's
at all
what I
from
got
it.
from the trailer because she does the kind of lipstick wipe off where there's like big bright red lipstick smeared across her
No,
face.
I weirdly got Human
Off on
Centipede from it. Don't know why.
Okay, so you got horror from the trailer, because I didn't.
Yes.
And so this film kind of starts off not horror.
That's very true.
It does it. I mean,
would you like to go through some of the subplots, please?
Is this film actually 2 hours 20 minutes long?
Didn't feel it.
Okay, this film is 2 hours 20 minutes long.
It is a good 40 minutes longer than an average horror movie.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. And it's a Certificate 18, and it's definitely a Certificate 18.
Oh,
so
yes.
basically, the cast list for this film is apart from butt-grabbing extras,
Yes.
is 3 people, pretty much, isn't it?
But they're 3 big people.
Oh, it's got Demi Moore.
I mean,
in it.
for a small alternative horror movie, it's got a big cast.
Yes. And it is randomly small horrors. I mean, it's really...
Yeah,
really
nobody's talking about it.
Okay, so it stars Demi Moore,
Yes.
Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Now, so just going back slightly to Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Okay, Dennis Quaid played that character so much
He
better
did.
than Willem Dafoe.
I disagree, but carry on. Don't start backtracking.
Can
now,
I not?
okay?
Can I not mix the streams?
No, you can't.
No, I can't mix the streams.
I thought
Okay,
you wanted
so
to
Demi
do that.
Moore
Yes.
is basically the green goddess in this movie.
She is.
So she's basically on GMTV
That's right.
doing her
Saturday morning.
No, daily aerobics
Yeah, but you know what I mean,
routine
yeah.
for the old routine, for the older people, and she's basically just about touching her toes and waggling her hips.
I have to say, when she first came on screen, I thought, she's very energetic.
I think there's a moment in this film where you have to check out as whether you would or whether you wouldn't.
Oh, yes.
Mine was considerably later in the film than I was expecting it to be. But anyway,
Everybody.
we'll get there.
Yes.
We'll get there later on. And then it becomes quite apparent. So Dennis Quaid is her producer
That's right.
on the channel. And it's I've forgotten what the terminology is in American TV, where it's basically advertising funded. So
Yes.
it's public network television. That's
It's a
the phrase I was looking
it's a
for.
commercial radio station. Commercial television station, that's right.
And they now think that Demi Moore's character, Lizzie Sparkle,
That's right.
is just pushing up the daisies a bit too much, and she's too old, and basically they've decided to kind of get rid of her.
She was an Oscar-winning actor.
Actress,
that they decided to farm off as a keep fit instructor
Exactly
on
right.
daily television.
Totally forgot the beginning of the
That's
film.
right.
Thank you, James. This is why you are here.
Yes,
Anyway, so she finds out that she's going to be replaced because...
in a brutal way.
Very brutal. She goes to go for a wee after she's done her
That's
performance. The ladies' toilet is out of action. She
That's
goes
right.
into the gents, into a cubicle.
Yes.
Dennis Quaid bumbles in. He's going for a wee, talking on
That
the phone.
scene was absolutely epic. His wiggling and waggling of his bits when he's talking on the phone was absolutely amazing.
It's nothing compared to the way that man eats prawns.
I agree with you
I
completely.
have never felt so uncomfortable in a cinema ever in my entire
It's the
life.
noise.
It's the noise, and I mean, you
The
talked about the
slurping.
waggle of his prawn.
Oh,
the
yes.
waggle of his prawns was
Yes.
pretty uncomfortable to watch.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it? Anyway, so Lizzie Sparkle
She's
is obviously
unceremoniously exited.
she's
isn't
basically
she?
bumped from everything in her
That's
life,
right.
and nothing is going well for her,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
And it's all to do with aesthetics. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Her performance is fine and so on and so forth. And all they're doing is they want to be young and sexy.
I went quiet because
Yes.
I forgot
Yes.
how she got introduced to the substance.
Ah, it was a car accident.
So it's the whiplash car accident,
That's exactly what it was.
isn't it? And it's a big old crash.
Mm.
She wakes up. She's unhurt, but she goes to hospital.
And they're all really surprised how unhurt she is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no particular reason why she should or shouldn't be hurt because
It's not part of the plot, but they were
it's not.
surprised.
she's in hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and the doctor basically is also pretty disinterested in her because she's all right.
Yes.
And
On you go.
on you go type
Yes.
of thing. She's about to go.
Yes.
But then the young blue-eyed doctor.
Yes.
Starts
Well, it's
to-
doctor's assistant, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, so the main doctor disappears because
Yes.
he gets an emergency call for something
That's
more
right.
important than her.
Mm-hmm.
But the young doctor there goes, oh, there was just one more test we needed to do. And he does this really kind of...
Spine checking test.
He does this little
Yes.
spinal pinch.
But there's also something quite... Immediately, there's something quite unnerving about that character because he's instantly... You look at him and go, you're massively airbrushed.
He's perfect.
He's too perfect. There's
His
almost like a
eyes
glow
are
around it.
even bluer than yours.
Exactly.
I mean, he's captivating.
He is. Thanks for that. And he introduces her to the substance.
Yeah.
Yes. So she goes, you would be the perfect candidate.
Yes.
That were exact words.
you'd be the perfect
After checking her
candidate.
spine out.
Yeah.
And he was really intent on checking her spine out.
Yeah.
And then he gives her, and then he almost reverse pickpockets a memory
A
stick.
USB stick into
That's
her.
right.
Yeah, she whacks it at the television, and then she's introduced to the concept of the substance.
That's correct.
Which is that you take a medication. I'm going to read the actual
Please do.
plot from IMDb. A fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself.
That's exactly what it does.
Enter Margaret Qualley as Sue.
And what an entrance.
Oh my days.
What an entrance.
If a film... it was a weird moment for this film to become a James film, but it is, without question, the Jamesiest film I've seen at the cinema.
I agree
because all of the
completely.
James films I've seen at home. Now, to see one at the
I
cinema...
skipped home.
I bet you did. I mean, this...
I had so much to tell my wife when I went home.
So this starts, this starts as almost like a bit of a soap opera, doesn't it?
It does.
And it's really shallow.
Yes.
And then when it starts getting into horror scene, the first thing, there is a lot of nudity in this. And
yes.
I've got to say, full credit to Demi Moore.
Massive.
I mean, she isn't 25 anymore.
Not at all.
She is still in absolutely incredible shape.
Yes.
Still absolutely stunningly beautiful.
Yes.
She shows the lot.
Everything.
Everything, and not in the most elegant of ways.
No, not in a manufactured airbrush way, which is a stark contrast to
Sue.
exactly.
And the Sue character she's also stunningly beautiful, and actually physically does resemble Demi Moore's figure. She's got the same size boobs, she's got the same shaped butt, she's got the
same eyes,
legs.
everything.
There's lots of and that's important. I'm not just being pervy,
No.
but obviously she is her.
She's a younger better version of Demi Moore.
So this is the kind of lifelong debate that we all have with ourselves.
Yes.
Is if we had the chance to go back, would we go back? That's basically what this is. It's done in a different way, but that's basically what the story is. And is it better to be young without the wisdom of old age,
That's
or
right.
is it better to be older with the wisdom? And it's the whole thing of you can have money, health,
That's right.
and happiness, but you never have all three at the same
That's
time.
right.
That's
Yeah.
best.
And
Basically,
youth as well. Yeah, youth is usually wasted on the young.
was one of my three not age.
Yes, it was.
Okay, just double checking because I thought I'd got one of the three wrong, which meant there was four. I was double checking me, not
Okay,
you, blue
carry on,
eyes.
carry on.
And anyway, so this story then
Yes.
basically turns into the split character of Lizzie and Sue.
That's right.
And Sue, is basically she takes over the mantle of Lizzie's character in the TV
She
station.
applies for the job and gets it.
Yeah, which is, it all seems like the perfect thing.
That's right.
However, it becomes apparent quite quickly that Lizzie Sparkle doesn't really sparkle anymore.
Not at all.
And she doesn't really want to leave the flat. So basically, the two lives of these two same people who have to alternate every 7 days
That's right.
couldn't be more conflicting.
That's right.
And
it is literally yin and yang.
And it conflicts. And normally we stop talking about the plot
Yeah.
at a point where it doesn't destroy the story. And I think this is that point.
I think you're right.
Because I wouldn't even know how to describe what happens from this point on. And it progressively becomes more of a horror film.
It's body horror.
It's body horror.
It is massive body horror.
It's quite... So you must have film references and nods.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a gap.
This is all I'm going to do.
Okay.
Because this is my warm-up. I want to know what you thought of this film, because I walked out of this film... First of all, I have to say thank you. I have to say a big thank you.
Yes.
Because if you hadn't given me all the homework that you've given me,
absolutely.
I would not have got this film.
Not at all.
I would have probably walked out
You
this
would
film.
have done, yeah.
But when this film became
You
a
would have-
James film,
Yeah.
I was like, hello,
Yeah.
here we go. How far are these bad boys willing to go?
I'm just strapping in now. I'm going to put my seatbelt on and let's see how far this goes.
Let's go.
This film is a love letter. This film is a love letter to several different things. This is a love letter to the hatred towards the female use of anatomy in advertising and television and film.
Yeah, absolutely.
This film is also...
It's not grotesque. What is it? What's the word? When they use too much tits and fanny.
That's right. It's
gratuitous.
It is, exactly.
It is beyond gratuitous.
It gets to the point where it is not attractive. You see so much...
Wow.
No, it does. It does.
It does.
Okay, it just gets
you're right.
It gets to the point where it is... It gets to a point where the nudity and the silhouettes of the buttocks and the silhouettes of the breasts and so on and so forth is possibly just as grotesque as the body horror element of the movie, because it's just plastered and plastered and plastered to the point where it's not sexy. It is literally just there.
It becomes uncomfortable.
Exactly.
It becomes uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Sure.
So this film, to me, is a gigantic homage to everything 80s. Okay, everything 80s, all the way through this film, right down to the point of even the size of the windows in the apartment. It is a homage to that's a homage to a movie called Body Double, which is a movie that was referenced in American Psycho, which is a fantastic 80s horror movie. You have got so many references to The Shining in this movie. It is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. So,
there's the corridor with the carpet. There's the red walls. There's the blood coming down the walls. There's even the lavatory. It is a Shining lavatory. It's as simple as that. With the
Do you know the director, Coralie Fargeat?
Do you know what? I think it's a second or third film. She's fairly new to the scene when it comes to this. So she hasn't. I think she's done a film called Revenge, which I haven't seen yet. So which I'm very interested to see.
I don't know her from anything, but no. I thought directorially it was really
very strong,
really good,
very strong, very brave.
So Sue's when Sue takes over from Lizzie in the kind of aerobic style, it's basically that Eric Prydz video, isn't
exactly.
It? It's just,
that's all it is, but it's done so much to the point where you don't really want to watch it because there's just too much of it going on there as well. So you've got the carpet, the walls, the television, and the studio, and the Overlook Hotel, obviously. Cronenberg films, there's references to every single Cronenberg film. You've got The Fly, which is a fantastic reference all the way through The Fly.
Very
exactly.
Good.
You've also got a film called Vertigo from the 1970s, which is a film based about a female wanting to have a better version of herself as well. You've got Showgirls, which is obviously a Demi Moore movie, but also references to that. You've got Carrie, which are massively referenced, and there's also a movie mid 80s called Society, which is really the last scene in that film. Last scene in this film is basically Society for the whole 2 hours. Okay, so it's basically body morphing, cannibalistic incest movie.
I didn't think men could be out-menned, but
yes,
it was.
Yes. Then of course you've got Requiem for a Dream as well. There's a lot of that going on there as well. You've got Medusa.
What do you get from Requiem for a Dream?
You've got the sex scenes in it which are so sexualized and so dark that it's not sexy. I'm talking about pegging,
right?
If you remember. Yeah. Anyway, for me.
The way you said it so seriously.
That's going on the video, by the way. The noise throughout the entire film is so juicy and so edible that final scene when Debbie Moore's doing all the cooking, it all comes together and everything is juicy and everything like squelches. It's really, really just the body element of that is incredible.
Because that was quite sick and juicy.
Wasn't it? Massively. And if you notice the colours, every single colour is really, really vibrant.
Yeah.
So the colour of the medicine is that horrible sort of almost like
neon yellow.
Yeah, neon. Demi Moore's coat is that really, really bright yellow all the way through, and that's a reference to Don't Look Back.
Oh.
And also Don't Look Back as well, which is
Don't Look Back again.
Don't Look Back is a Donald Sutherland horror movie in the 1970s.
Yeah.
It's all about a child dying. Clockwork Orange as well, all the way through. There's a beautiful scene where Dennis Quaid is obviously talking to Demi Moore character, and he's got all the investors behind him, and that's a massive reference to Clockwork Orange when they've got all of the police and so on and so forth.
It got really panto-y, didn't it? With those guys in there. It was,
massively.
So when they kind of turned up, that's when I was just kind of like, this is really.
And Dennis Quaid's costume department was absolutely brilliant. It was so over the top. There's so many bad, ill-fitting, over-the-top fabrics with every single dinner suit he wore.
And silver-hilled Cubans.
I know.
Oh my god, I want me some of them.
To me, he played the perfect Joker character but without the makeup.
Yeah, he was just better than Willem Dafoe.
It's an amazing film. I'm not even going down that route. It's also got Jekyll and Hyde all the way through it as well.
Jekyll and Hyde, yeah, it does.
You see?
Yeah. I mean, it's based on Jekyll and Hyde, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Sorry, that took a few seconds to sink in.
Exactly. So.
Wow, you really are reference-tastic today.
I am. I was so excited all the way home. I just kept making references on my phone about every single film that I was inspired by. I cannot wait to see this film again, and I can't wait to see it comes out of the cinema officially. And I'm going to drag all my friends to go and see it.
Okay.
I'm giving it. I'm giving it 9.6.
Oh, you fuck!
Yeah, I love it.
Are you?
I loved it.
Wow.
It is, and you know what? Mainly because I only saw like. Maybe you had the trailer maybe twice, and it was such a glorious surprise about how well it was done. All the references that I could possibly dream of were in it.
Okay, well, I put it in the realms of all of my James films. I put a 7.2. I did really enjoy it.
Yes.
I didn't 9.6. Wow.
Yeah, I went there. I went there. I
okay.
cannot wait to see it again.
Well, I mean, I came out chuckling to myself about what a you film it was. It was.
What I loved was we had a very similar ending to the film when the lights came up, very similar to when Men finished, and everybody just sat there and went, "Oh dear."
There was like a, oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
There was it was. I mean, because everyone, you kind of get where it's going to end.
Oh god, yeah.
But Jesus.
Yes. It worked. It worked. Yes, what have you got for us, Nicky?
I'm going to try and do a few facts. So, with regards to the director,
Yes.
this is her 6th directorial venture.
Right.
She's done 2 French TV miniseries. She's done a short called Reality Plus.
Right.
She directed a film called Revenge.
Yep.
She's directed 1 episode of the Sandman TV series, and then obviously this as well.
So quite fledgling to the big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandman. Okay, right.
Yeah.
And do you recognise Margaret? I can never say her surname. Qualley. Do you know who her famous relative is?
No.
She is the daughter of Andy McDowell
Yes, big mouth.
from Four Winds and a Funeral and Things.
I know who she is. I was just looking at a picture
and
of her.
also Blink
trying
Twice. Nice connection.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And would you like a couple of quick facts?
Go for it.
So Demi Moore has worked alongside Margaret Qualley's mother, Andy McDowell, in St Elmo's Fire. Ray Liotta was originally cast for the film in February 2022. He died in May of that year before he could film his scenes.
Well, that's no excuse.
And Dennis Quaid replaced him as a result.
I think Ray Liotta would have been quite good, but Dennis Quaid really grabbed it by the ankles and ran with it, didn't he?
He's wicked. He's so
He
good.
ran with it.
So I was watching Beetlejuice, and I was thinking, he just got fucking Quaided.
Yeah.
He did.
Fair comment. Fair comment.
And would you like to know why the clues were those clues?
Please do.
Okay, so clue 1 was Witchfire.
Yep.
And as I've just mentioned, Witchfire is the name for St Elmo's Fire,
Yep.
a weather phenomenon. Demi Moore, the star
she
of the
was,
substance,
yes.
also starred in the 1985 Joel Schumer film,
Yeah.
The Elmo's Fire.
Of course.
Keep your balance. The term of use for the substance is to keep a balanced 7-day
Absolutely.
rotation between versions of yourself. And activate, stabilize, switch, repeat is the how-to guide for using the substance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to say, when the instructions came up, you thought to myself, this is all going to go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it has got impending doom written all over it,
Yeah.
but my word, how the doom unfolds
Yes.
is definitely worth
It's
a
a fantastic sort of microscope over the human condition as well, because you know that you're just hurting yourself.
Well, it kind of starts off. It kind of feels like it's one of those in-your-face moral movies.
Yeah,
and
but
I
then-
started watching. I was thinking, "Oh, come on!"
yeah.
I mean, and then it's just like, "Oh no, they've totally changed the idea.
Oh, yeah.
This is taken a left turn, which I did
Yeah.
not expect, and it is going and going and going."
Yes, exactly.
So in total, it's 8.4.
Well,
from
not
you
for
guys.
long.
Well, this film is going to be quite binary. I think it's going to be a love it or hate it movie. And I was there an IMDb score?
Yes, it was 7 point something. So
And I
just
think that's
press
probably
it.
where that score's going to come
7.9,
from. It's going to be
I think.
lots of
7.9.
9s and
Yeah.
lots of 6s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and nothing in between.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
exactly, I agree.
I mean, the crowd coming out
Yes.
was quite a mixed hubbub.
And the whole film comes in 3 acts. You've got the act of Demi Moore, you've got the act of the younger version of Demi Moore, and then you've got the act of both of them together.
Carnage!
And when you get to the 3rd act, people start laughing.
We're going to go over an hour in a minute.
Let's do it. Okay.
We are going to go over.
Okay, let's go.
Today is just unfortunately one of those days, guys.
We can have a one-off.
We can just edit me out at the end.
Okay, so 3rd film, please.
Oh, it's my homework.
Well, I've got homework as well. Do you want to do my homework or Nicky or Peter's homework first?
I can do mine really quickly.
Go for it.
Okay, you sent me a film called Perfection.
Oh yeah, I forgot
it was the worst horror that I saw this week. It's 1 hour 30 minutes long.
10 minutes short.
It stars Alison Williams, who you will know from Girls.
That's right.
She's the tall, thin brunette one.
Mm-hmm.
This is directed by Richard Shepherd, who was also directed Girls, which is how they got to know each other.
Yeah.
This is basically the story of a music school.
That's right.
She is a former student of this music school. She goes back to judge a competition and also to meet the new protege from this music school.
It's not like Tar, is it?
A woman called Lizzie, played by Logan Browning.
Right.
The two of them get it on. They then disappear off together.
That's right.
And then there is a twist of horror where things go very brutally wrong,
Yes.
and then there is an explanation as to why things go really wrong. It's distinctly average. I'm giving it a 6.
Wow.
Really?
It's shit.
Do you like it?
It's just so average. It's unbelievable.
I really enjoyed it.
Maybe it's the wrong week to give it, but
Maybe.
but the films you've given me recently, this was such a backward step. And,
Okay.
and an hour and a half was half an hour too long.
Okay, well, I would still recommend people at home to watch it and let us know what they thought their score was.
Oh, not this week. Go and see everything else that you've seen. Everything else is so much better than this.
Wow.
It is 6.2 on IMDb. It's won 3 awards.
Chainsaw.
2022 winner of the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards for Best Streaming Premiere Film. So
So there we go. It was straight to telly. There we go. That says exactly what it is.
It doesn't have to
a
be.
lot of good things are straight to
exactly.
TV nowadays.
Oh, I'm wrong again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can't agree with you everything, Peter.
It's subjective.
So after going to a fantastic meal on Saturday night, what else would we do when we get home? We'd watch a movie, you see. So my gorgeous wife and I watched a movie that I missed out on with didn't get on there, but we missed out on a film that was on Scream Unseen a couple of months ago called In a Violent Nature.
Oh, yes.
And I was super excited about going to see this. It got a really tiny cinema release, and then once I realised it was available to stream, I thought,
This was a film that we talked about for 2 or 3 weeks,
We
and
did.
we couldn't find it on.
Exactly. And then it was on Scream, and I couldn't make it, unfortunately. So once I saw it streaming, and once I saw it available to rent on streaming, I thought, this is my Saturday nightcap. Brilliant.
What everyone needs to do after a lovely meal out.
Exactly. Watch a horribly violent movie, and it didn't disappoint at all. When a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods, the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit, spurred on by the horror 70s crime, his body is resurrected, and he goes on a rampage.
Oh, right, so the person who we're POVing
Yes.
is actually a pre-deceased person that's come back to life.
100%.
Right.
Okay, so the first start of the scene, you see you. What I love about this film, is basically Friday the 13th, but reversed. Okay, so initially you see. Initially, it starts very Friday the 13th. Around all those sort of movies, you see the 6 young, attractive singletons in a car on the way to.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, you see. But on this occasion, you don't see that. You see them standing outside and going, "Oh look, there's a gold locket. Should we go and get that now? Let's not leave it. It might be a bit weird robbing that gold locket from that grave. Let's leave it alone." Okay, and then 2 seconds later, you see somebody's hand. One of the young ones have decided went, and you never see their faces. You just literally see their hand, and you go, and the gold locket has disappeared.
Smart.
Okay, so the gold locket goes, and they go off. 2-3 minutes later, you see that the ground start moving, and you see a hand coming out of the ground.
And does it feel like you're playing a computer game?
Not at all.
Does it have that kind of?
No,
feel to
it doesn't have that first. That would have annoyed me because then you would have had that vision of like. No, it's a lot cleverer than that, because what it do is it's almost like you're watching from behind. Okay, but you see the most beautiful scenery you had ever seen ever in a horror movie. You literally see this character crawls out of the grave, and he's literally just walking.
Oh, and you love this. You love horror in the wrong setting.
100%.
It's
daylight.
Florence Pugh thing.
That's right. Midsummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is bright sunshine in the most beautiful fields that you just see this character. It's a gigantic guy with a bald head. You don't see his face until about 3/4 of the way through the film, and he's just plodding along. You see, and every time he comes across somebody, he slaughters them. I mean, there's no conversation.
In the trailer, they kind of talk about the fact that some animals just kill for sport or just kill for fun.
Yes,
that's kind of like one of the tagline things.
Yeah, but that's not even mentioned in the film. That's just obviously part of the marketing thing. There's no subplot. You literally, all you know is that the story at the very beginning is that these people are talking over this grave, and you go, "Oh, we heard this bloke. He got killed, and so on and so forth. This is his locket, and it was his mum's locket. Let's leave it alone." And obviously, one of them picks it up, and that's where the story starts.
What a prick.
You see 2 or 3 people getting killed, and you think, okay, this is quite good. It's quite horror. It's quite violent. And then halfway through the film, you see the most horrific death scene I've probably seen for a long, long time.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not going to go into detail. If you like your horror and you like an unusual death scene in a horror movie, you need to watch this film. It's the lack of score in it, which is really, really imposing as well, because there's no music. You just hear the thudding of him walking, and you hear the screams of the people dying. There's no. You know, at the start of every, Friday the 13th or Halloween or Candyman or all those different references. There's always a musical score to get you in the mood for it, very in a Jaws sort of way. Exactly, nothing like that at all. It is literally brutal, brutal, brutal. It is a shame that you see his face halfway through the film. I think they could have left that gap out of it. You didn't need to see his face at all. That ambiguity, that works for me as well.
Ambiguity.
That 100%. That really, really worked for me. I would say it's short enough. It's short enough to catch your attention. It's a very, very short film. It's short, but long enough to be a beautiful horror movie, and I gave it 8.9.
Wow, you've had a fucking great
I've
week.
had a brilliant weekend.
So
Honestly,
cool.
It is. And I was a little bit concerned when I first started watching it. I thought, I've been really wanting to watch this film.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard any reviews about it. I've heard, all I know is that it's going to be brutal, and it didn't let me down.
Brilliant. I can't wait. Can I have that on my homework?
No, you've got a different film for you.
No, okay.
It was nominated for 2 2024 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, which happened in July, so it didn't win them, unfortunately. And the score on IMDb is 5.6.
Well, they're wrong. How about we've had yeah, but IMDb's wrong. Rotten Tomatoes give it a much higher score. Would you like to let us know what Sophie would call? Exactly, they're wrong. They're all wrong.
In a Violent Nature,
yes,
very well named movie. Boy, this one is violent. I love the lack of score. The eerie sound of the killer walking into the woods and the bird chirping made it all the more creepy. But it's a supernatural slasher movie, and it doesn't think too deep. The cinematography is beautiful. I liked it a lot. I will definitely watch it again. 7 out of 10.
There you go.
What subjectivity can't be wrong?
So 7.95. So 7.9.
7.9.
There we go. Right, homework.
Now I'm going to mix. I've mentioned this movie in the past to you a couple of times, and you haven't got around to watching it, so I'm going to insist that you watch this one. Okay.
Okay.
This is a mixture of a director that we've been looking a lot at. It's also got a mixture of 2 actors that we've been looking a lot at recently as well. It's a film that's starring Hugh Jackman. Also stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and also Paul Dano. Dana.
I don't know either.
Yeah, exactly. From There Will Be Blood.
Oh right, yeah.
Yep. It's a Dennis movie from Arrival and June.
Villeneuve.
Yep. And it's a 2013 movie called Prisoners.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, good.
I
haven't seen it. No.
It is. No. You would remember this film. It is a very.
So who's it got in it?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yeah.
and Paul Dano.
The three tops, as we
The
like to
three
call them.
tops.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You can watch it on Amazon Prime if you have your subscription.
He does.
YouTube, he does.
He does.
YouTube, Google Play and Movies, and Apple TV for a cost.
Yes. Very, very good film.
Cool.
Yes.
I'll watch that tonight.
Nice. Just quickly going back to Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. Did you recognise the love interest for Jenna?
Oh, we had this conversation. So we Googled it.
Yeah. So he's the son of Nina Conti, who is a famous-ish UK ventriloquist comedian.
Oh, I didn't do that. I just
Yeah.
looked at what he'd been in before because we all thought we recognised him.
We did too.
And he's actually just a very, very small bit part actor from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I've definitely seen him in something.
Are you a big fan of the ventriloquist comedian Amanda Conte?
Do you mean Nina
And have you
Conti?
been hanging outside her house?
the name. I tried my best to be funny and I failed.
And while we are on the subject of Beetlejuice,
I did 3 times.
Jenna Ortega's Wednesday dress will be among 600 items in a new Tim Burton exhibition. It'll be the Wednesday, and then obviously a lot of Beetlejuice stuff as well. So things like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman suit are along it. It'll be held at the London Design Museum. The world of Tim Burton will take visitors through the artefacts from across the director's 5-decade career, beginning with unreleased projects from the start of his career and finishing with his most recent film, which is Beetlejuice.
Is that weird? Because I've got tickets for that.
Have you?
Yeah.
So I was in London today, and there was a poster for a Batman Uncovered, like another
Yeah,
exhibition.
that looks really good.
Does it?
I know, as in I want to go because it looks really good.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. That looks epic.
So there you have it. It's been an epic week. We've gone well over the hour. We do
have.
apologise for our
Not
regular
too
listeners.
much over.
So I mean, it's going to take Lawrence 45 minutes to listen to this.
Yeah, we'll do.
Exactly, be fine. What films are you going to watch next week?
Oh, who cares? That's it. We'll call it that. We'll
How
call it a day.
can people find us? Contact us. Sorry.
They can contact us via our Instagram page.
That's right.
They can contact us via our Facebook page. They can leave a comment under our YouTube video. They can contact us personally. If you're seeing any of the films that we've seen this week, we'd really appreciate your reviews.
That's right.
And scores. So please do that. Now you can also get in contact with us when you download or stream the podcast from whichever channel you choose to download or stream your podcast from.
Any platform.
There is now a message us button, and it sends us a text message. We really like receiving this type of message. However, there is a problem with this, that it doesn't tell us who you are. So if you do it on that format, please also put your name on there, and then we can give you a mention.
Don't be anonymous. Get it all out there.
Be anonymous.
Don't be anonymous. Don't be anonymous. So there you have it. We've reviewed
Everything.
The Substance. We've also reviewed The Perfection. We've also reviewed Beetlejuice, and we've had a little bit of In a Violent Nature as well.
So you've only let about 3 points go out of all of the films combined. That's quite an epic thing.
Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with this week. Looking forward to next week. Right, thank you very much for listening.
It was a long one, sorry.
Go for it.
Well worth it.
Go for it.
It was
You go
worth
for it.
Popcorn Pundits. Week
46.
46.
What a week for James Film.
Only a few weeks away for the year.